Yes, my people, welcome back to Premier League Review Week 1. Welcome back again to the Title Talk show. New format. Last time we were here was last week, Wednesday, I believe it was. Yeah, we did a preview for the first game week of the official Premier League season 2023 to 2024, right? We in 2023 now? No, sorry, 2024
24, 25.
2024 to 2025. I'm living in the past, people. You know what I'm saying? But we're here once again. I would say that the Premier League weekend, it was a good weekend to kickstart the Premier League. Not anything, nothing controversial, really and truly. More than that player from Wolves assaulting
Oh, I was just about
Arsenal
to say
players.
that. I was just about to say.
That's the only controversy that was over this weekend. I think there was a next controversy where it was a handball, Mateo Kovacic, but I think it was a natural position, in terms of how he was running. I mean, bro, you can't always have your hands to the side. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think it was natural. I don't think it was a penalty. But other than that, good Premier League opening weekend. And I'm joined here by Dylan and Big Steph. Steph, just go ahead and show it to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, you know, big stuff. I do all sorts of Arsenal content on the channel, fan interviews on the channel, as well as player breakdowns, player analysis, anything Arsenal related, anything United States men's national team related. If you like any of that content, check out my channel description and link will be down below.
Yeah. Dylan, you have no channel for shout out?
Well, I hope they clicked on Gunners to get to the video. But if you want to subscribe to Gunners, then please subscribe to Gunners. It is much appreciated. And go over and head over to 433 Presser to subscribe to him and his terrible takes every week.
No, man, I have no turbo takes. You get me? I say
Oh.
I don't think I have any turbo takes. But yeah, people, we have 21 of you guys on stream right now, so just go ahead and hit that like button. Today we're going to talk about Leon Bailey and his Aston Villa team smashing West Ham 2-1. Amadou Onana, the former Everton player, scored on his debut. Leon Bailey had a golden chance right after Amadou Onana scored, I believe it was. And for me, I think it was a hard chance, Steph. In hindsight, Bailey could have probably said, okay, what could I have done better? But I just think it was a difficult chance, especially at that angle with the defender closing down, putting in such a slight tackle. You know what I'm saying? And I saw a video where somebody said, I respect his YouTuber within our YouTube space. I think his title was like, Leon Bailey is struggling in the Premier League. And I was like, bro, the Prem just started. Like, how is he struggling because he missed that chance? So I'm not going to really be unfair to Leon Bailey. Also, we're going to discuss Omari Hutchinson as he played in the Premier League, also his Premier League debut with his club, Ipswich Town. We all know that Omari got promoted with Ipswich. He went back to Chelsea, and then Chelsea subsequently sold him back to Ipswich Town. Kieran McKenna, the manager, he asked for Omari Hutchinson for his birthday as his gift, and he was granted that. Also, going to discuss Ethan Pinnock and his Brentford team getting the win. Ethan Pinnock unfortunately scored a own goal, right? Want to discuss Michail Antonio as his West Ham team under Julian Lopetegui, a new chapter. Didn't get the start that they wanted in terms of the 3 points at home. However, I still think there's a lot of positives for West Ham moving forward. They have a lot of good players that they signed over the summer. So not going to be too harsh on West Ham. And I mean, I think we have to take into context that it's the opening weekend of the English Premier League. I mean, the league does not finish. It didn't just finish. Whoever is at the top of the league now will not go on to like win the Prem. Who's at the top of the league right now, by the way?
I think Brighton went 3 loves, so I think
Yeah, Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton.
So I like to the league, but I'm Brighton. I'll go win it anyways. I get me. I say there's a lot more games to play, like 37 more game weeks left. So I don't think fans have to be. I don't think fans should be like worried right now. Leicester City also started the Prem well. We're going to talk about Bobby Reid getting a draw against Tottenham Hotspur. And I mean, Dylan and Steph, I think you guys know this, and I'm going to ask you, what do you think of Tottenham?
shit.
Shit.
That's all right. Yep. So, anyways, let's kickstart it with the opening game, and not the opening game, but the first game that would have been played surrounding a Reggae Boyz player or a Reggae Boy player. That would have been Aston Villa featuring against West Ham United. So Leon Bailey played in this game. Aston Villa got a 2-1 victory against West Ham. Dylan and Steph, you guys watch this game?
Yes.
I watched a little bit of this game.
All right, so I'm going to start off with Dylan first. So Paqueta scored the I mean, well, Paqueta scored a penalty. But before I get to Paqueta, Amadou Onana, I love this guy, man. I love this guy. I'm not saying that I wanted him at United. To an extent, I did. But he's one of those players where you look at him from a distance. I admire the player. Physically, I think he's an outstanding player. I think,
Whoa, 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 whoa,
yo,
whoa,
calm down now.
whoa, whoa, whoa. You said physically. You admire. Wow.
Bro, so like, admire me saying them people there.
Oh,
Like
no, no.
the abilities
Not
of the
like that.
player.
No. His physical ability. Kishan,
Nah,
like,
wow,
whoa.
you're going crazy.
Wow.
You're going crazy.
Anyways,
Wow.
anyways, in terms of his stature, I
Whoa.
Whoa.
Stature.
yo, bad man. Yo, let me just start now, man. All right. In terms of his build, you know what I'm saying?
In terms of the way he's played the game, man, he's a good footballer.
In terms of how Amadou Onana plays the
footballer.
game, I really take on to how he plays the game. You know what I'm saying? I think his presence. I think Amadou Onana's presence in the midfield, I think it is something that is wonderful. At Everton, I think he was being wasted. Not wasted in the sense that, like he wasn't like in the best system. I just think Everton at this moment in time, they're not operating as how they should be operating. You know what I'm saying? Being the only club in the Prem that has not been relegated, right? They should actually have better.
Never been relegated.
I was about to say, yeah.
No, Everton are the only club in the Prem that get relegated.
No, Arsenal has never been relegated.
I'm not about Arsenal, but Everton is one of those few clubs. But yeah, but anyways, he's at Aston Villa now. He scored on his debut. A headed goal. I think Leon Bailey contributed to that in terms of his presence in the 18. He kind of pinned down one of the defenders. And
you know who was at fault for that goal?
Who?
Michail Antonio. He was out Onana marking, and Onana get away from Michail Antonio.
Yeah.
At the back post.
True.
Yeah, true. And then, Duran, who is linked with a move away from Aston Villa, scored the second goal for Aston Villa. Lucas Paqueta scored in the 37th minute, a penalty. And Lucas Paqueta is actually facing some uncertainty for his future because, we all know the betting thing, whatever the case is. But anyways, we're here to talk about Leon Bailey. Dylan, you watched the game. Leon Bailey, what do you think about his performance in this game?
It was good. It was positive. I support him through having him in my FPL team. I don't know if you guys play FPL, but it was a solid game, solid showing. That touch to get the ball under control was sublime. It was I never knew he had it in him locker like that. I don't think I've ever seen it at the National Stadium like that. But he's just a quality player. It blew my mind when they sold Diaby, because I was just like, they sold Diaby and they left Leon Bailey when obviously they're trying to go as far as they possibly can in the Champions League. But he just showed it. I think you have to go based off results-based analysis, and getting into that position, taking on the defender, he was burning with pace. So I think it was a very positive showing by him. Of course, there are moments that he kind of didn't shine as much. I think Rodgers, I was really impressed with Rodgers. I didn't really know Rodgers. But I think for Leon Bailey and what we've grown to know him as, I think it was a positive showing. And first game of the season, you can't really ask for much more than that.
Yeah. Anything to say about Bailey's miss in the game? What did you think about that chance? Because for me personally, I looked at the chance and I was like, hear people are texting in a certain groups. I mean, and they're saying like, "Yo, man, miss like wide open goal, and I look at the chance and I was like, bro, that was not a wide open goal. First of all, the angle was tight and the defender was closing down the near post. You know what I'm saying? So it was a difficult chance for Leon Bailey. Could he have done something differently? Yes, but in hindsight, you kick yourself and you move on. Steph, over to you. Well, before we get to you, Dylan, you didn't answer the question about the chance.
No, I think I think you have to also think about the fact it's the first game. He's not going to be holistically firing. It's only Arsenal and Man City are the teams that are going, and not even Man City so much, are the teams that are going to be firing from game week 1. People forget that all the time. Mikel and Pep have just changed that type of frame of mind. Because I was looking at it the other day, Manchester United won the Premier League with 75 points, right? And you cannot do anything like that now. So I think for a game week 1 showing, I can't wrong him. I think yes, as Dicanio just pointed out in the chat, that defender did sell, but at the end of the day, he was the last man. He bring down the ball, he controlled it, he ran at it, and he got into the position to score. And he was just unlucky. That's life.
Yeah. And
Football.
before I get to Steph, let me just give it a quick rating for Leon Bailey. 7.5 match rating, minutes played 74. Obviously goals 0, assists 0, total shots 3. This would be where he took the shots from, one outside of the 18. This one that the cursor is on, this would have been the one at the near post in the 22nd
Yeah, the
minute.
one outside of the 18 was bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This
that
one
one
in
was
the
kind of
22nd
crazy.
minute, that was the chance that fell to Leon Bailey, right? However, I agree that it was a tight angle and it was a difficult chance, especially with the defender closing down that quickly. Accurate passes, 58%, 14 out of 24 passes completed, chances created 2. What else? Nothing else to kind of run through. But 7.5 match rating, first game of the season for Leon Bailey. I think it's a good thing. He had somewhat of a good preseason as well. Scored in 1 or 2 games, I believe. I wasn't really watching Aston Villa, but I kept track of some of the games and the results. And I know that Leon Bailey was definitely on the score sheet for one of those games in preseason. Now over to you, Steph. Leon Bailey. What you have to say about Leon Bailey and this Aston Villa team in their first game of the season?
Um, Not about performance from Leon Bailey. Thought he was lively, bright as always. To be honest, I like the way how he plays. First of all, talk about the chance. When that ball comes over to him, first of all, it's a good touch, even to get the ball under control, to even make the chance. So credit to Leon Bailey, because that is a wonderful touch. Then to create the chance, unlucky not to finish it. But who knows? Probably 3 weeks' time, he could probably bury it. But in terms of that team overall, if they're going to get anywhere, they're going to need players like Leon Bailey to step up and play at a consistent level. And
Steph, not to
7.5
cut you,
rating.
Dylan, take over quickly, my fault.
And for him to play like that first game with the blocks is a positive sign for Villa fans. They got Arsenal coming up next, who is going to be ready and looking to do them harm. And if I'm looking at the game, I'm previewing the game in my head, that is probably one of the players I'm looking at as one of the danger men. So credit to Leon Bailey for coming out the blocks hot. Let's hope he can keep it up, but hopefully not against Arsenal, because can't deal with that. I don't want to deal with none of that.
Yeah, but like when you think about the preview, as an Arsenal fan, what do you think is going to happen? Because Aston Villa was our bogey team last season. I think that it's the only team that took 6 points off of us. What do you think?
To be honest, going into the game, I'm confident. I think the game comes at not a good time for us, but I'd rather it come early than later during the season, because when we have to rotate the squad, we could put full strength side. We had a week's rest. You can go there, no excuses, beat the men that in front of us. We could play our football. I mean, it's going to be a tough game playing at Villa Park regardless. But in Michail Arteta's time there, he has won there. We came back from behind to win there. So I'm not scared or anything to going up there. I'm not like wavy or anything about that. But I think we're going to go there. I think we're going to show ourselves. We're going to show that we're a good team. And Leon Bailey, yes, is a good player, but we have good fullbacks. I'd like to see Calafiori come in and play, or Timber. I think either one of them will do a good job on that left-hand side to stop Leon Bailey. And if not, Gabriel is on that side alongside William Saliba in that defense. So if that can rise on that side, confident 3 points next week.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm as confident as you still on the whole Villa situation. I'm really thankful that we get them game week 2, and then we're going to get them game week 20?
Early top of next year somewhere.
Yeah, so I think that's why I'd be hopeful. But my concern is just every time we've played, Arteta does not have a good record against Emery. He just doesn't. I don't know why. I mean, they're not too far away from each other from where they come from, but I think it's just very odd to me. And Watkins did not have a good game last game, so I just don't feel very confident going into this game. Honestly, I think we'll have the tools, but I think it's just a mental block that we'll have to get over this season.
I think last season, the 2 results against Villa, being that they're 2 results that potentially cost us a league title, everyone looks back on that, and everyone looks at potentially the record between Arteta and Emery and saying, oh, Emery is this coach, he has his number on Arteta. But if you look at the results in context, the 1-0 win that they had against us at Villa Park, we went at them. We should have won that game. No doubt about it. We got caught offside way too many times, missed way too many chances, and we conceded an early goal, and we put ourselves behind the 8 ball. To a team at the time, I think Villa went top of the league with that result, because they beat City the very next game.
Right.
If you remember. So Villa were on a flying form that time. So to be honest, We got caught at the worst time. We were playing our worst football at the time, even though we only had like one loss at that time going into that game. We weren't playing our best football compared to the back end of last season. And then the back end of last season, the only game we lost was against Villa. That came in a very tough week again. Bayern, Villa, Bayern again. And in rotating that squad, I think Michail Arteta made a mistake in going Zinchenko. Not having that depth, I think that caught us out. And for long periods of that game, we should have put Villa to the sword. And again, not taking your chances when you have them cost us another massive 3 points. So I think Arteta's big thing would be take your chances and you will win this game because the defense is strong enough to get a result. Don't give away anything. Keep your heads, and you should win. And you should get 3 points.
And I think the last thing that I'll say about it still, I think the midfield that they have, we should not lose that game.
Yes.
You cannot lose to a midfield with Tielemans and Onana. I'm sorry. You cannot lose to that. Tielemans, no, it just, if you have Declan Rice, Odegaard, and whoever else plays, it just feels our party or Jorginho. Look at that midfield. It just, no. Yes, McGinn, but Tielemans and Onana, it just, the progression is just not there in my opinion. So I think that's the one thing that made me confident going into next week.
Yeah. But anyways, last question before we move on. Are you guys afraid of Leon Bailey come next game week?
I mean, like I said, if Villa are to get anything, like Dylan just touched on quickly, that midfield should not be beating our midfield. So if we're going to look at anywhere Villa could do us danger, it will have to be on the wings with their pace or with the creativity. With a player like Rodgers as well, with Leon Bailey running at the defense and Ollie Watkins, they got a good attack. But at the same time, am I frightened for Leon Bailey? Not really. Honestly, not really, but I know he could do us damage if we're not on it. So I guess it's kind of 50-50.
I think you major in your apology. I smell fear. I smell fear from you, Steph. It's either you're afraid of Leon Bailey or not, because Leon Bailey, he has haunted you guys, especially over the last 2 games. You know, the first game, he set up that goal for John McGinn, right? And then the second game at the Emirates, Leon Bailey came on as a substitute and he annihilated Arsenal. He destroyed the title hopes for you guys. You know, to the point
where...
question.
Who played at left back in the first game when them beat we 1-0?
Yeah, man, say.
You can put
the question is, are you afraid of Leon Bailey or not?
I'm not afraid of Leon Bailey because whoever we got to play against Leon Bailey next week and lock him down. That is what I got to tell you.
So you're saying you're going to lock down Leon Bailey next week?
Yes.
Dylan,
I'm so confident that we will beat Villa next week. I bet you that we'll keep a clean sheet.
All right then.
Clean sheet.
We're going to go on the road and we're going to...
Yeah, Officer Dylan. You afraid of Bailey?
I wouldn't say afraid, but very wary. I'm very wary of his talents. He loves a big game. That's one thing about Bailey. He loves a big game, right? To shut all the YouTube space and all of his haters and whatever. He loves a big game to say, oh, yeah, man, you see the Arsenal result, blah, 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 go to Jeffrey, that. So I think, I wouldn't say I'm afraid, but I think Bailey is a big game player. The player that I would be most afraid of is John McGinn and Emery Martinez. John McGinn is just the type of player that Arsenal does not like to play against, right? And Emery Martinez, it's just Emery Martinez. He could have a death hair type performance in my eyes. Him just win Copa America. That's 3 trophies that he has won internationally. So it just goes to show. So that is just where I'm at personally.
All right then. So let's go over to the next Reggae Boy player who would have featured over the weekend, and it would have been his debut for not his new club per se, but more so, his new club in the Premier League. It was his old club in the Championship, but now his club is in the Prem. He went back to Chelsea and then he was sold to Ipswich. So his new club in the Prem. That's how I would term it, right? So it's all about Omari Hutchinson. No, not the best start for Ipswich. Not the worst start because, listen, you're playing Liverpool on the opening day. I mean, the best of luck to you. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the likes of, Jota at the club still, Mohamed Salah, as well as many other top quality players. So Omari Hutchinson made his debut in the Premier League. Dylan, Steph, you guys watch that game?
Yeah, I watched that game, yeah.
All right, so let me start off with you, Steph. 2-0 victory for Liverpool. Goals coming from Diego Jota as well as Mohamed Salah. And we've all seen the stat surrounding Salah in terms of basically since the man arrived for Liverpool, every opening day, either the man score or the man assist. You get me, I say? And Mohamed Salah on screen right now, I don't know if you guys can see because the thing is blocking it or something like that. Wow, I'm not sharing the screen. Wow, let me just pull it up quickly. Yeah, so
Whoa,
anyways,
Yo.
the Kanye dog, bro. What is this guy?
hold on. Brother, me just click on the picture, bad man. Like, me never know say. You see me? Anyways, we can move past
You
that.
never know that we could see what you're looking at, Kishan, man, is that, bro?
Bad man. Me I try show the people them Salah. The new haircut, brother.
No, why you trying to show him that part?
Brother, this thing couldn't scroll up, brother. Like that's how I click off. Right? But anyways, enough of that still. Steph, let me start off with you. Omari Hutchinson, potential reggae boy player. Potential reggae boys player, right? Top quality. We saw the damage that he did in the championship, especially at the back end of last season. I think, well, many folks would have thought, I should say, that Omar Hutchinson was a crucial figure in terms of helping Ipswich to gain promotion back to the Premier League after 20-something years with them being outside of the Prem, right? I know that you're familiar with Hutchinson, seeing that he was once at Arsenal, labeled as a wonder kid. I don't think he's a wonder kid anymore. I think, he's long past that stage. He's playing professional football now, and he's doing it at the highest level. Well, the Prem is even a higher level than the Championship, but the Championship, let's put respect on the Championship. It's still a high level. It's still a respectable level to play and to dominate to an extent, right? Omar Hutchinson's performance. Anything to say about Hutchinson and his debut against Liverpool? And also, how do you see this Ipswich team? You think they'll get relegated, or I think they'll stay in the Prem?
First of all, to touch on Hutchinson, congratulations for making his debut. To be honest, I really wanted him to break through for Arsenal. I was a big fan of his. I mean, he left, he went to Chelsea. I haven't really been following his career. I am familiar that he went to Ipswich, obviously. But to touch on Ipswich, it was a good first half performance. The way that their fans got behind them, the way they pressed Liverpool, the way that they went at Liverpool, I thought they had a chance. Hutchinson created some chances as well. Overall, they looked like they could have caused Liverpool some threats, but again, is Liverpool their dominant side? They've been around for a long time, and once they get the control of the game, they're gonna do what they do. Salah again, top quality player, does what he does, gets his goal, gets his assists. But what I think about the Ipswich team, I think the home games are going to matter. Now again, first game against Liverpool is always going to be tough. Not expecting to get 3 points there, but if they're going to want to stay up, that home ground has to be a fortress for them. The energy seemed to be really good at the stadium. Players like Hutchinson are going to be key for them. So if they have any chance of staying up, they have to score goals, and they're going to have to improve on that home form.
Yeah. And also, well, you say you haven't been really following Hutchinson, which is fair. You know what I'm saying? I know that you're a very busy individual. Plus, you've been following other players as well. I see the videos on a couple youngsters from Arsenal, right? What's the recent one? Ethan, 1 year.
Emery,
Yeah. He's one for the future, right? But yeah, Omar Hutchinson for me, I think he had, not going to say like a good game or like the best game or whatever the case, but you can see the potential in the guy. And it will take some time for Omar to acclimatize himself to the Premier League, as well as Ipswich, to be fair. It's not a one-man team. It's a team effort. So for me, Omar Hutchinson, give him a couple games. I think you'll eventually see the full quality and what he has to offer on display. I mean, your first game against Liverpool, being back in the Prem, it's difficult, especially seeing that Ipswich would have played at Anfield. You know what I'm saying? If they played at their home stadium.
Ipswich played at them stadium.
Sorry. Seeing that Ipswich played at their home stadium, but against Liverpool on the opening day, it's a difficult ask for Ipswich, right? I think what will help Ipswich, as you said, is the home games, getting that atmosphere right, getting the fans behind the team, which I think, not that I think, I know that the fans of Ipswich, the Tractor Boys, will get behind this team. I know that the home support will be stronger than it has ever been in the history of that club come this season, whether they're relegated at the end of the season or they're still up in the Premier. You know what I'm saying? So for me, Omar Hutchinson, I'm not going to judge him too hard on his performance. However, in terms of the stats, before I get to Dylan, and he can obviously on Omar, match rating 6.6 minutes played, full 90. How many shots at goal? So 3 shots at goal, one from out the 18, one on the right hand side of the 18, which was in the second minute of the game, so as the game started, and this chance in the 68th minute, right in the 18 as well. Looked like it was I don't remember this chance, but yeah, possibly went over the bar. The keeper saved it. I don't remember that chance. But anyways, accurate passes 56%, 10 out of 18 passes completed. Fantasy points, one for you guys who play fantasy. I'm retired from fantasy.
Hmm.
I think if I state my
You're
reason,
just
Dylan, you have a
fantasizing
problem.
about other things now.
If I give my reason as to why Dylan will say me chat too much and me not have opinion on everything. But
No,
anyway,
no, say anything, say anything.
people, the reason why
You
I've
spoke
retired,
about it the other day.
the reason why I've retired from fantasy football, I
Yeah.
believe that fantasy football it divides people. No, I mean it unites people. Yes, I think it takes away the rivalry from football. Like, how can I be a United fan, right? Listen to this logic. I'm a United fan. I have Saka in my team. Arsenal is going to play United, and my thinking is that okay, I want United to win, but I would like Saka to score a goal versus United so I can get the points, but still for United to win. Like, no, bro, like that's taking away the rivalry. You agree with me, Steph?
I see where you're coming from. I see your point of view, but at the end of the day, who cares about fantasy points? If I get zero on a player, I get zero on a player. I don't really care about
Yeah,
fantasy
still
points
what?
if I do that.
Yeah, but more like have a strong rivalry with different
Nah,
respective
nah,
teams.
I see your point. It's a very valid
Yeah.
point.
So that's why I retired from fantasy. Touches
Professor, you know
33.
that you can talk about your actual feelings, Professor. We're not here to. It's just when you make those kind of weird, shaky comments is when we have to kind of shut you down. It makes sense. It makes
Yo,
sense. Like
anyways,
I agree.
hold on, the funny things on Font Mob, I'm just looking at it. The country is England, not
Yeah,
Jamaica.
I saw. I was waiting for you to say something still.
Wow. But anyways, Dylan, what you have
I
to say
got a
about
question
Omar
to ask you
Hutchinson?
guys after that too.
What you say, Steph?
Now I said, well, I will let you get your point off about Omari Hutchinson, but I do want to ask you a question about Omari Hutchinson and JA too.
Oh.
So go through Dylan,
I,
just give me your thoughts and then get to Steph questions.
yes, so I think my thing with Hutchinson is that this was a birth by fire, right? There's no possible game that'd be a worse game for him to play, right? Because he was on the left wing as a left footer against who was his wing back? It must have been, was it Robertson?
Yeah,
Against Robertson. So a season veteran, right? So I think it was just a hard game for him to really stake his claim on the league, or he was against Trent or whatever. But I think it was just a hard game for him to claim his stake on the league. And if he did, he would have announced himself to the world. But you can't really expect that, in my opinion. I think Liverpool, the one thing that I noticed is that their access of central spaces was insane. Like I don't know how Trent was getting those passes through, and I don't know. I was saying to the Dicanio, I don't know if it is that Ipswich is bad or Liverpool is just on a different type of passing thing this season. But I think Amari had a okay game. Like we're expecting Ipswich to possibly get relegated. So I think, yeah, I don't know. Delap was pretty disappointed because I've heard so many, ravings about Delap. But yeah, I think, as I said, it's the first week, game week one. I don't really expect that much. But I want to see when, because I think they have mostly um Liverpool, then City,
yeah, they do
and
have to play
then
CBS.
yeah, they have to play City next. So yeah, I don't think we're really going to. I mean, if he scores next week, I'd be so happy as an Arsenal fan. But I think it's unlikely. But yeah, just give him time to learn the league. He's 20.
Yeah. Steph, you did want to ask Dylan a question surrounding
Yeah, I
Hutchinson.
wanted to ask you both a
And
question
before we
about
get to that as well, right? People,
Omari Hutchinson.
before you get to that stuff, people,
Mm.
just stop what you're doing. I know that some of you guys can be stingy with the likes, but please just go ahead, smash that like button. Whether we get 10 likes or 20 likes or 30, it doesn't matter. Once you're smashing that like button, then we really and truly appreciate that because it does help the video and it helps the channel to grow as well. Steph, tell the floor and go through. Go through.
No, I just want to ask you guys about Omari Hutchinson. I see a lot of y'all streams, a lot of y'all videos talking about him not committing to the national team yet since he committed his future to Ipswich. What are your feelings about him not committing his future to the national team? But also, do you think he changes your national team's fortunes? Is he a player that will really change y'all and up the level of the national team?
You want to go first, Chris?
I mean, let me tell you, I don't think if Hutchinson walks into the team right now, pertaining to Jamaica, he like brings the level up a notch to the level that people might think. I think it will take some time compared to like a player like Greenwood. I think if Mason Greenwood walks into this team tomorrow, then the team goes up a notch like by 10 folds or whatever the case is, right? As for Hutchinson, he will add the quality. I think we'll see glimpses of what he can offer, but I don't think he like exponentially improves the Reggae Boys team like straight away as he steps foot on the pitch. To an extent, having a player like Hutchinson is an asset. He will definitely have games where he will perform good. But compared to like some of the other players that we've been linked with that are potential Reggae Boy players or Reggae Boys players, then I think he's a little down in the pecking order in terms of what he adds straight away as he walks into the team, right? Um, One thing I'm afraid of is he's 20, Steph, right? And when you look at the likes of the Ivan Tonys, Ollie Watkins of the world, nobody at one point in time thought that they would have had a shot at playing for England, right? Whether or not we think that Ivan Toney deserves a call up, whether or not we think Ollie Watkins deserves to be in the team or any other respective player. But if Omar Hutchinson, I mean, England doesn't really pick from like teams like Ipswich or those like lesser teams, to be honest. But what if he goes on to have like a wonderful season and then he gets a move to like uh, let's say like he goes back to Arsenal or he goes to like a Spurs. I could envision Omar Hutchinson at a Spurs. Trust me, right?
If it was Spurs, that'd be crazy. I can't see him going to Spurs.
Huh?
Oh, that he's definitely not going to Spurs. That is
Bro, the man was in the Arsenal academy. Like,
I don't think you realize
Chelsea.
who
Also
Omar
played for
Hutchinson
Chelsea.
is. Wait, sir?
They say he played for Arsenal and Chelsea, and then he can go to Spurs.
bro,
I could see it happening.
bro,
I
he was
think
in
the
the
thing
academy.
about
Like,
him that you have to realize is
when you're in the
that he was
academy, you don't have no rivalry to that extent.
True.
So I'm
and
just
yeah,
go through the one.
no, I'm saying that the it is a shirt. It just don't no sleep.
Yeah.
I think the thing about Hutchinson that you have to understand is that this guy is just an opportunist, right? He has played his career. Every single move was calculated because I don't know if you remember when he was doing the F2 freestylers video,
Yeah.
right, in the Arsenal Academy. So it's from long time. And when I made a video about him and I started doing research about him, his family does every single move completely calculated. So if he gets a move even this January to a bigger club, he's gone. If you get what I mean, I don't think it's yeah, I think he's a organist in certain regards, as they kind of just put in the comments, but he's he's just an opportunist at his heart and at his core, and he will do anything for his career to be successful, which I respect.
I mean, listen, the Arsenal chapter might be closed in the sense that he used to play for them, didn't get a chance in the first team, but you have the likes of Saka who plays off the right hand side. Gabriel Martinelli is someone that you can question for the future in terms of if he doesn't really step up and is consistent again as couple seasons, then you might look to potentially replace him. We hardly see reunions where a player leaves the academy and then they come back to the club, right? These things are more like in FIFA. You see that, right? I mean, not saying it doesn't happen, but at the biggest level, you hardly find that um, reunion. I mean, Martin Odegaard was a case, but when he went back to Madrid after having like a couple loan spells out doing good, didn't really get a shot, right? You look at the likes of like the Brahim Diaz. Well, not that they left the club on a permanent basis, but you get what I'm saying, Steph, right?
Yeah.
For me, if Omar Hutchinson goes on to like have a wonderful season, it's like a Dominic Solanke in the sense that he's playing for Bournemouth and Spurs come knocking. It's a bigger step up than playing for Bournemouth or any other team that is not in the top
And
six.
you think that would endanger him from committing to the Jamaican national team more, so he will go on to probably open his options to England?
Yeah. That's my fear. You know what I'm saying? As long as he remains at Ipswich, if he's having standout seasons and he's not getting a move to a big club, then I think he's closer to playing for Jamaica compared to England. Because as I said, you hardly find England picking players from like the Ipswich of the world or like I mean, the only team that you can say like England picks from is like a Everton in terms of
Yeah.
like Jordan Pickford, and he has warranted his spot as the number one goalkeeper, right? I can't think of anybody right now that was in the recent England squad that was not playing for one of the big six teams. Is there anyone?
Probably Newcastle. I think
No, the Crystal Palace boys.
Crystal
Oh,
Palace, he was playing for Palace, but it depends on, like you said, they had standout seasons to get that
yeah,
level.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you actually have to have like really standout seasons. But if England could pick from like the Uniteds of the world only, or like the Arsenal or City, then that's the club that they're those are the clubs that they'll be going to. But we could just like blow through this quickly because we have Unai Emery to talk about and Mikel Arteta. Any last points surrounding Hutchinson before we move on to the next player?
Good luck next week. Please score.
Yeah.
Please score.
All right. So let's take a look at the next player that is a reggae boy that would have played over the weekend. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's taking some time to load? What's going on?
Press on the
Just, ref-
Wi-Fi. Your Wi-Fi again.
just refresh this page. So we'll go through Leon Bailey already. Well, we could go back to Michail Antonio. So let's just talk about Michail Antonio quickly. Don't want to spend too
I
much time
could
on.
not believe when he started.
Just
When I
I don't
saw
want to.
the lineup, I was in shock.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on Michail Antonio, but he played against Aston Villa. Heading into this season, there was a big uncertainty surrounding his future. However, Lopetegui cleared that up, and with some stating that they believe that Michail Antonio can offer something to this team, especially seeing that they signed a striker from Borussia Dortmund, who Dylan is familiar with. I'm sure you're familiar with him as well, Steph, as well as Dicanio. Yeah. Michail Antonio. Any thoughts surrounding Michail Antonio and his performance against Aston Villa? I
One
mean,
Who
he
you
got
asking?
9 match rating, nothing much to write home about.
Who you asking?
Anyone, take it. I don't want to spend too much time on Antonio because there's nothing much to talk about.
Because you're an Antonio hater.
No. Well, got you.
No, I mean I think that is the standard Antonio performance. Honestly, everything about it was a standard Antonio performance. Bully people. Not shoot the ball. Show me the shots. Show me how many shots he had.
In terms of shots, two.
2 shots, one blocked. It is a standard Antonio performance, but we grow to expect no assists. A few passes here or there, but yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get how this guy is still at the highest level. I rate him as an individual, and when I had a little moment and I met him, like it was amazing. But like I just don't understand how this brother is still playing at the top level.
I mean, he still has something to offer. In a recent
Which is
interview.
what though?
I mean, listen, in a recent interview, listen, even last season, West Ham without Mikel Antonio did kind of struggle, right?
Yeah.
When he's in the team and he's fit, he can provide goals, In terms of his presence, he scores like some of those scrappy goals. How many goals did Mikel Antonio have last season in the Premier? Let me just check that quickly. And I mean, to add to that as well, Lopetegui could have easily shipped out Mikel Antonio, but he said that, listen, I think Antonio can offer something to this West Ham team, seeing that he's a similar profile,
I think
maybe a bit
why
lesser
Antonio
to
only stayed
Fulker.
this side is because he got Premier League experience and you're bringing in a new striker like Fulker who's now getting accustomed to the league. You don't know if he's going to be a hit or miss with the team. You got to embed him in the squad and you're going to need somebody to score goals. Michail Antonio is a hot and cold striker like Dylan said. Very hot and cold because when he's hot, he could go on streaks where he score goals. But when he's cold, he will be poor.
I mean, listen,
Brother, this guy has the same amount of yellow cards and goals.
well, listen,
That's what I'm saying. Hot and
20,
cold.
26 games last
Not
season.
a player.
26 games last season, 6 goals, 2 assists. I remember last season, Mikel Antonio, he was troubled with injuries. You know what I'm saying? He really did take a huge hit last season in terms of having injuries, right? But when he came back from those injuries, he scored a couple goals. So, he might not be like the best thing since last year, but there's something still in Mikel Antonio. But as I said, there's nothing much to talk about. Aston Villa won the game.
I
West Ham
guess my
lost.
only thing with West Ham is that I would, in my opinion, why you don't try play Bowen down the middle, Kudus on the right where he's more comfortable, and give Somerville. Somerville is a live wire.
Bro, the man just scored.
Right?
Like, calm down.
Yeah, but you can look how well he played. You get what I mean? But I get managing minutes. I'm not trying to sound like one of them pop guys, that trying to, it's that. But like honestly, like I don't understand why you're playing Kudus on the left when you can play him on the right. But anyways, you said
Yeah, let's move on. Brentford versus Crystal Palace. Our own Ethan Pinnock, standout defender for the Reggae Boyz team, scored an own goal. However, his team went on to win against Crystal Palace 2-1. And I think the talk of the town coming after the back end of last season is this Wissa guy, bro. I think Wissa is. I'm not gonna say he's like a underrated player in the Prem, but he's a handful to deal with. On his day, Wissa is a
Yeah.
player that's just annoying to play against, bro. Like the man just give me a problem as a defender. I've seen it multiple times. You get me? I say, um, Ethan Pinnock Dylan, you're familiar with Pinnock. Big win for Brentford, opening game of the season. Any thoughts surrounding that and the own goal that? Oh, listen, we don't have to talk about the own goal. People score own goal. We don't have to talk about that. But big win for Brentford and Ethan Pinnock, and he got the player of the season last year for Brentford as well. Any thoughts around Ethan Pinnock?
I just love Brentford as a club. it's what a class club, man. And they're right across the road from Arsenal, right? So yeah, I don't really have that many thoughts. I was going to put Mboimo in my fantasy side, but yeah, they kind of used to say that Wissa is better than Mboimo. I do not agree. Mboimo is a better player, but yeah, I didn't get to catch the whole game, so I didn't really have that many thoughts.
Steph, any thoughts on Brentford?
Yeah, I didn't really get to catch the whole game, but what I did see that Palace should have had a goal because that goal that Eze scored should have been a goal. To be honest, I don't know why it was called back. I don't think it should have been called back. Pinnock overall, and what I did see defend as well. One thing about Pinnock, I would say he wins every single header that I see him when I see him play. He's great at winning headers, great in the air, and to be honest, that's one thing as a defender, especially in the Premier League, for one of those mid-table clubs, you're definitely gonna need. So Pinnock, really, really, really good defender. To be honest, Brentford were lucky to get the win there. You know, the goal that they scored was a little bit scrappy at the end. The whistle goal was really, 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 really scrappy. By the end of the day, they played the better football at home with the fans behind them. Good win for them. And to be honest, if they want to stay forward, they're going to lose 20. So they're going to potentially lose goals. Pinnock is going to be key to them if they want to keep in the Premier League with that defense.
Yeah, and one more thing before I read out these statistics surrounding Pinnock. People, stop what you're doing. Like, share, subscribe, especially if you're new. If you're tuning in from a country that is not Jamaica or the United States or Canada, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join the community, join the family. Once again, like the video, share the video, and let's continue the discussion. And honestly, bro, I just feel like the conversation so far is going good. I normally want to cover the Reggae Boyz team and anything surrounding Jamaican football, especially with the next punk of the week, Dicanio. It's a bit toxic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always like this back and forth, and it's just draining. But seeing that I have my next co-host, Dylan, it's quite the pleasure. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Dicanio is for another time. But anyways, in terms of Ethan Pinnock, and to be honest, Ethan Pinnock is one of Dicanio's favorite players as well. He did a video on him a couple months ago. 6.0 match rating, 90 minutes played. Obviously, the match rating would have been low due to the fact that he would have scored one goal. But that's nothing, you know. Yeah. Just a quick question. After pick, has Messi ever scored that one goal?
No, actually, no, not to my knowledge.
Yeah. Anyways, accurate passes, 34 to 42 passes completed, 81% accurate pass rate, not bad. That's actually good, especially for a defender. And you can see that he's more so like of a ball playing defender as well, right? I hope nobody know why I'm out for that, but I don't think that deserves a why. But anyways, 59 touches across 90 minutes, touches in the opposition box 1, successful dribbles 0 out of 2, passes into final third 4, accurate long balls 2 out of 4, 50%. He was dispossessed once, blocks 1, clearances 5, headed clearances 3 out of the 5 clearances he would have made, interceptions 1, defensive actions 9, recoveries 4. He was dribbled past 1 time, won 7 duels, lost 6. Yeah, that's basically it surrounding Ethan Pinnock and Brentford. And just a quick question before we move on as well. You guys have any sense that Brentford might be in a relegation fight this season?
No.
No?
Like I said, to be honest, they got Wissa and they got Mboimo. If they could keep scoring the goals and Pinnock could keep them out, because I think he's a really, really good defender, they won't have any trouble. But once them goals start drying up when the Christmas period comes, they got to fight through that period. But I don't see them being in too much trouble.
Yeah. And somebody did ask in the comment section if that was a Bayesian accent.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, Steph, Bayesian, which country is that? Bahamas? Barbados?
Bro, come on, bro. You know what country that is? Barbados.
Barbados, sorry.
You know what country that is?
Yeah, listen. You know
If you live in Barbados?
Huh? Nah, I used to live in Barbados. I used to live in Barbados for like 10 years.
Okay.
I just moved to the US.
But like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like at this point the man they must just merge Bahamas and Barbados. You get me? I say, like,
Bro, come on, stop.
Like,
you hear this up.
So hold on, you guys have beef with Bahamas?
No, it's not even the beef, but it just mean like Barbados is Barbados, Bahamas on their own thing. Barbados has got their own thing.
Let me just look up something quickly. Isn't the color of the flag similar?
I mean, the flag is totally different. So I wouldn't say yes. I mean, they got like blue, we got darker blue and yellow. They got yellow too, but
yeah, I just feel like the two of them just close, yeah, man. You see me? Just link up with your cousin. You know,
I
like you
say
have Trinidad.
you're just showing yourself, Chris.
No, you know, like you have, no,
Just
listen. You know, like
Stop.
you have
talking
Trinidad.
all over your face.
You know, like you have Trinidad. I have Tobago. Like you just link them up. You see
Nah,
me?
nah, 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 nah. That literally
Like,
cap. What are
dad,
you
give a
talking
fish
about?
on,
What are you
bro.
talking
Like,
about?
are you actually serious?
No, I'm
Bro,
just saying,
move
like
on, bro. Move on to the next topic, dude.
Barbados, Bahamas.
Yo, Dicanio. You are so unaware of the Caribbean and disrespectful
No,
towards it.
sickness me. I mean, not disrespect the country. I just I say it's like I respect the two country. Them. I just I say due to the fact say two of the country them the name them start with B. Just I say yo. Then again, they could say okay, merge every country will start with B, but
So
still
Jamaica and Japan are the same thing.
That way, but
no. But you get me? I say, you see me? But anyways, big up to Barbados, big up to Bahamas. Which country I come from? Barbados?
Barbados, she's a national hero.
No, nobody have significance come from Bahamas.
Bahamas got runners and athletes and things, so I wouldn't say that.
Oh, so yo, Barbados, what going for them in the football?
I don't know anything about Barbados football.
I
Nah, someone
mean,
from
Barbados, you
Barbados.
got a player right now in Austria playing professional football, Thierry Gill. He's a really
Austria?
I've actually played against Thierry Gill when he was younger. Really good player. So to be honest, for him to reach that level, congrats to him. We got other few players that go to the US, try the thing, always try, but at the same time, on a whole nation level, we ain't really up to the standard yet as a global standard. Not yet.
Yo, if you want me coach Barbados still, we can
Nah,
do it.
Chris, alright, move on, move on.
Anyways,
Honestly, we don't.
let's take a look at the last game and then we can go to the meat of the matter, right? Anyways, let's talk about Leicester City versus Spurs. So Leicester back in the Prem. There's one particular player that plays for Leicester City now, who plays for the Jamaica national team, Bobby Decardo for Reid, left on a free from Fulham, went to Leicester. I'm in a group and somebody asked the question, is he the best utility player across the Premier League? And I think there's a good shout. I think it's a good shout. You know, can play in multiple positions, right? Probably can even play as a goalkeeper if you call him up to the forefront to play as a goalkeeper. Owen, big up yourself. But in terms of this game, Leicester City, they drew with Spurs. Big 1 point for Leicester City. First game back in the Prem with Steve Cooper against this Tottenham team who I think they're still trying to figure out themselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think that Spurs finally kind of figure it out, or they finally have the missing piece for the jigsaw.
I
But
never thought Spurs figure out in my life. I never say those words in my life. So I don't think Spurs have ever figured it out.
I know, but sometimes it looks like okay, you know what I'm saying? But like whatever the case is. But anyways, they drew with Leicester City, King Power Stadium, Bob Deckard over it. Did any of you guys watch this game? I didn't watch it.
Yeah, why caught of the game? Solanke missed a lot of chances. I won't say a lot of chances. He did miss a few chances, to be honest. And Leicester were kind of on the back foot during for a lot of that first half. Spurs were causing them a lot of threat, especially from set pieces. Could have scored. And Didi cleared one off the line. But other than that, Jamie Vardy, Premier League legend, doing what he does, getting a point for Leicester.
Yeah, big up to Jimmy Vardy as well. You know what I'm saying? I know that he made a gesture towards the Spurs supporters in terms of how many Prem you guys have won in your history. But you know, once again, Bobby De Cordova did feature in this game. And before I get to Dylan, let me just read out his statistics surrounding this game. 5.4 match rating.
Wow, that's not good at all.
You know, funny enough,
I just think he wasn't involved in the game. I think that's the only way the rating is so low. I didn't think he played bad from what I saw, 5.4, but I just thought he wasn't really involved too much, I guess.
Dad, how many emails do you have?
Yeah, bro, I'm both. You say like this man, like, come on, bro, like, man, I put up on timeout, bad man. You get me? I say.
Anyways,
in terms of this double thing, right? You know, some have to call out MG. MG, big up yourself, but then I want group with MG and I'm gonna ask MG Sports the question, yo, if Bobby the card over it play good and MG saying play good, but bro, a 5.4 match rating.
Yeah, that's
what they didn't involve in the game or not, brother, like I don't really think that not really tells you play good. You get me? I say. But anyways, 86 minutes played, total shots 1. Wow, this about from what 50 yards?
You don't even need to see it. You don't even need to see it.
You see that one from whoa, and that was definitely off target. You get me? I say, yeah, that was wide. But anyways, 65% accurate passes completed, chances created 0. Uh, 15 out of 23 passes completed, it is 65%. Touches 36 across 86 minutes. Touches in the opposition box 1. Um, accurate passes 0 to 1. Accurate long ball 0 to 1. Offside, was caught offside once. Dispossessed 4 times. Clearances 3. I mean, not the best game for Bobby De Reid. However, Bobby Reid is a player that he can score goals, which he will score some big goals for Leicester City come this season. And the best thing is that he's accustomed to the Premier League as well. So it's not like a player that it's not like you're picking up a player from the Championship that's like not familiar with the Premier League, right? People in the comment section or people on the live stream that watch the game, share your thoughts below in the comment section about Bobby De Reid and his performance and what you guys expect from him this upcoming season. But that's it surrounding Bobby De Reid. Now, one thing I want to get into before we end the show is Unai Emery is better than Mikel Arteta. Now, I know that many of you guys are familiar with AFTV. I was actually gonna take the clip, but I didn't remember to screen record it. But anyways, Yardman was on an interview post-match basically with Robbie Lyle from AFTV. Big up to Robbie and the AFTV crew. Now, Big Steph, you saw the interview. Dylan, you saw the interview with Yardman TV. Yardman made the claim that Unai Emery is a better manager than Mikel Arteta. What do you guys have to say about that? You guys are familiar with both managers. Unai Emery did not have the best of time at Arsenal. You guys troubled the guy because of his accent and, him saying good evening, whatever the case is. However, he destroyed you guys last season in terms of the title hopes that you guys dreamt of. What do you have to say about what Yardman from AFTV had to say?
Well, I can start it off. No, firstly, the whole conversation, if anybody hasn't seen the conversation, Yarma was making the point that Arteta, this is a title or bust season for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. And he was to say, okay, if Robbie was making the point, well, who else pushed Pep and Klopp the last 2 seasons? He's saying Emery is a better manager than him. That's how the conversation come around. To me, I watched Emery almost bottle top 4 last season alone. And if it wasn't for Spurs being so terrible, they would have bottled top 4 to Spurs. Because we're not going to talk about how they were flying top of the league and almost fell down to 5th. Villa was poor at the back end of last season too, and it went understated because they finished 4th because Tottenham were even
Hello, and welcome to the Bobby Burke.
But anyway, going past that, Emery had a stretch for Arsenal where he was good. He played attacking football, he played free-flowing football. By the end of the day, we didn't get Champions League football on Emery. We didn't win anything significant on Emery. We didn't really make any waves on the Emery in world football. Under Arteta, we've done that. No, I understand that we've lost to Emery 2 times last season. By the end of the day, who did Emery lose to last season? Emery lost to a bagger man last year. So at the same time, we could compare the Emery to a whole heap of coaches in the Premier League last season. So at the same time, if you want to compare managers on the head-to-head record, go ahead and do that. But if you're looking at a body of work, especially over the last couple of years, Arteta has proven he's far and away the second best manager in the league. No, that Klopp has left. So you can make of it what you want to make of it.
Let me just address this comment. People, I am one person. Dylan is one person as well. Steph is one person. I cannot watch every game. However, even if I don't watch a game, I'm going to say I might have a 5.4 match rating or 4.0 match rating. There's no way in hell you can make the case that man played good. You get me, I say? No way you can make the case that a man played good with a 5.4 match rating. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can make the case that, listen, he did play bad, but these were the circumstances as to why. Maybe, whatever the case, in that car, knock or something. But, yeah, I watched quite a few games over the weekend. Bro, what is wrong with Dicanio? Like, Jano Star, Robert Burke, big up yourself, Danny Church, big up yourself. But, yes, Steph, let me just try to play this little clip. I don't think it's going to play everything. Robbie, don't copyright me, but let me just play quickly. Maybe like 2 seconds or so. Right. Just saying.
Hands and heart, do you really believe that you are a real, truly, and outright Arsenal supporter? Are you a supporter?
Well, you saying I'm not Arsenal supporter?
No, I'm.
Anyways, that's the hard man, right? Funny enough, in the COVID, Yardman was over England and the man say like him did say something about Andrew and it's like come take me off a road or something like that. But he was in England, so nobody never got trouble him. But in terms of this conversation, right, I think this is the main talking point coming out of the weekend in terms of Unai Emery versus Mikel Arteta. And it has been a long going and a long-standing conversation between Arsenal fans and Villa fans or whatever the case is, right? Now, honestly, Steph, I do not think that Unai Emery's failure at Arsenal defines him or should define him for the entirety of his career, right? If we're talking about what is there to win, Mikel Arteta has had numerous opportunities to take cup competition serious, which he did not. You guys, you've lost out on multiple cup competitions under the tenure of Mikel Arteta. And when you're spending so much money, you have to deliver a trophy. As bad as Eric Ten Hag is for Manchester United in the league, at least as United fans, or at least as a United fan, I can look at it and say, listen, he delivered the FA Cup last season. Season before that, he delivered a Carabao Cup. I know that these are not the trophies that United would like to win at the end of.
The question I will ask you again, note to that is, do Arsenal have a squad? This answers this question straight up and down. Do Arsenal have a squad to push City 38 games in the league season and compete deep in other competitions? Did they have that last year or the season before?
No, you see, you cannot tell me about that, bro.
But at the same
No,
time,
hold on. I don't.
United ain't compete for nothing.
Steph,
and win them trophies because there wasn't nothing.
Steph, don't tell me
about I understand where you're coming from, but the depth was not there to push City.
Don't tell me about no squad. I'm multiple after the money. Matter of fact, disclaimer, he won the FA Cup in half a season. Credit to him, he won the FA Cup, right? But after that, brother, don't tell me about no squad thing, bad man. I don't want to hear about no squad thing. Because some of the team them want to drop out to, only if you beat the team them. You get me? I say, you can't spend over $500 million and come tell me about squad thing. Mikel Arteta is the same manager that signed. Hold on. If it's a squad problem, wasn't Mikel Arteta the guy who signed what the player them name when they end up selling now? Me even can't remember their name. Due to the fact that they never did play much. The one where they did the Luton.
No, okay, hold on, Press.
Hold on. Who signed Sam Bilokanga?
Huh?
Who signed Sam Bilokanga?
I don't remember.
Mikel Arteta.
Sevilla?
Mikel Arteta signed Sam Bilokanga. What the next one name when I did that again? One player at the midfield and one player as a defender. What the next one name, man? Come on, man.
Nuno Tavares?
Who signed Nuno Tavares? Mikel Arteta, right?
Okay.
And quite a few other players who you would say they should have been squad players, right? Or they should have been mainstay players if they lived up to the potential that, people talked about them. Whatever the case is, you get the picture. But you're not born a squad size bad man. Manchester United have squad size.
First of all, we know. Okay, you've spoken a lot of verbal foolishness already. So, but is Pep the greatest Premier League manager of all time? Or top 2, top 3?
Top 3.
Where you put him? Top 3.
Right? If not
so
one.
You're telling me, let me just try and contextualize this, right? You're telling me Mikel Arteta has come into the league against potentially the greatest Premier League manager of all time, ran him through 38 games, and he's just not good? Hold on. Because the squad expensive? Who has spent more money than Pep in the last 7 years?
When did I ever say that Mikel Arteta is not good?
No, but I'm just asking you, how is Emery better than him? He had the same opportunity.
Hold on.
Listen, never even get close.
Hold on. You know that my favorite word is failure. That is my favorite word. Everybody knows that. Juras, big up yourself. Juras knows me like for dash fail upon people, especially managers who fail. Now, if we contextualize this, right, and we'll put it in context surrounding their respective tenures at Arsenal, who is the better manager? Unai Emery or Mikel Arteta? If we talk about
why is that a question?
No, what a bad man. If we talk about it in that regard, then maybe I can have the conversation that Arteta is a better manager.
Arteta career young, Arteta and coach nowhere else.
But hold on, all I can say is then maybe I can have the argument or the conversation that Arteta is a better manager at Arsenal than what Unai Emery was. However, both failed to deliver the goods. Unai Emery failed to deliver.
No, but what is Arteta failing at? Bringing the best manager in the Premier League to the last day of the season, is that a failure?
Is that a trophy?
I never said is that a trophy. I asked is that a failure. What has
But you
Ten
never
Hag?
win. You never win the league.
You beat him in a one-off game.
But you never win
At
the
the
league.
end of the day, Arsenal still has the most FA Cup, so we don't need no more FA Cup. What more FA Cup? We
No,
don't
but
need
the
a
thing
FA
is-
Cup
The
to
same
qualify for Europa
FA
League.
Cups, the same people were slandering me for winning FA Cups and being content with fourth. So how you want to hold it up? How you want to do this?
Yeah, but I just want you to tell me. Remember
Bro.
that people used to say that Arteta used to collect Pep corn them, and that he wasn't good, and that he wasn't worth anything, and that all him do is spend money. But Pep has spent more money than him in his first 5 seasons.
Dylan, let me
Right?
tell you this. I know that Arsenal at one point in time, they did not expect to lead the league table the season where people said them battle it. I get that, right? However, as a team and as a manager, when you're this close to winning the Prem and you drop how many points in 3 games? 8 points or 6? 6
Okay,
points.
but you're not addressing the point that Pep is generational.
No, I agree.
Is
However,
Arteta a generational manager?
However,
No, answer that. Is Arteta a generational manager?
no, I'm not about a generational manager. I have to win things first.
So
man.
he's not good. So
How is
if Pep
Arteta
leaves the
generational?
league tomorrow, who is the best? Who is the manager you think wins the Premier League instantly?
What?
If Pep leaves the league tomorrow, who do you think is most likely to win the Premier
No,
League?
man, you can't look on the Premier League so bad, man. You can't look on the Premier League.
Why? The
You cannot look on the
115
Premier-
charge
you
is
cannot-
not
No,
real.
you see Uno now. You see Uno now. You see
It's
Uno
a
now.
question.
No, not because Arsenal finished second behind City. It means that if Pep leaves tomorrow, Arsenal just automatically or more than likely wins the Premier tomorrow.
Nobody's saying that, but who do you
Why?
think
Why?
will win the Premier League?
It's a direct question. Who do you think? Is it Eric Ten Hag?
Yeah, right now.
How many managers in their first job take a club that had no club culture to the last game of the season in the Premier League? You tell me.
Is that a
You
trophy?
how many do you know? Which
Bro,
ones?
Is that a trophy? That's my question.
He has brought us a trophy and a community shield over.
Me could take this comment. Lion King Football and Entertainment. Arteta failed to bring home the button right at the line. Exactly. And even Juras is asking the
Okay, but
question.
it's his first job.
Hold on.
Can you add? Pep's first job was Barcelona with Messi, Ronaldinho, blah blah. How much player? How could I lose with Iniesta, Xavi?
But just answer this question for me, right? How is Michail Arteta generational?
We're not saying he generational. How is Unai Emery better than Arteta? That is the point. That is the conversation. What about Unai Emery?
Let's factor. Let's put it this way, right?
In his first job, Kishan, was Emery better than Arteta?
No. Hold on. Read the question.
In Emery's first job
at Arsenal?
No, first job in general.
No, I'm not tracking man.
When Emery was 40, how old is Michail? Like 43? At 43 years old,
right,
what was
let's put it in this sense, right? Emery, let me just pull up Unai Emery's track record, right? Would you say that this Arsenal team in the last 2 years has probably been better than Emery's Sevilla teams? Would you say that?
Yes, I think they would have beat Emery Sevilla teams.
So every past Sevilla team, I think this Arsenal team right now, and the past 2 seasons in which they finished second to Man City, you think? Hold on.
And them men, the Sevilla teams were good teams, but at the same time, them teams was falling out of the Champions League, going into the Europa League and winning that.
Right. So in your opinion,
let me ask you this. I'm just asking a question. Wasn't Arsenal like the worst Big Six club in the Premier League? Isn't that the worst thing that was going on?
So you guys agree? So you guys agree that these past 2 current Arsenal teams in the past 2 seasons would have been better than Emery's past Sevilla teams,
yes.
Right or wrong?
I think so, yes.
Yes. Did they win a La Liga?
So hold on now. But they won a trophy. They won major.
Except the PSG.
They won major trophies in terms of the Europa League.
They won a league trophy. You're telling me, has he won a league trophy? He win Champions League? When win Club World Cup?
And you know what? Another thing too, when Emery was at Arsenal and he went to his specialty cup, the Europa League, we lost the final same way. So at the same time, we want to give all this rating. No, you're not saying Emery is a bad man.
But even after he left Arsenal, despite losing the Europa League,
at the same time, you can't come and discredit Arteta, who has built a whole club that has been a European, who's growing into a European powerhouse. And compare him to Unai Emery. You can't come and do that. You can't come and discredit Arteta and what he's been building at Arsenal. Like, you haven't been watching for yourself. Arsenal beat teams week in, week out, start the season again, beat teams week in, week out. Like, come on.
Yeah, but Professor, you keep on saying this thing, Professor.
I don't know, people. I don't know.
Isn't this Man City team the best Premier League team I've ever seen?
Dylan, finishing second place is not a
No,
trophy.
I'm asking a question. Is this the best Premier League team I've ever seen? They're the only team that has won 4 back to
Four in a row.
So you can't tell me. You said trophies is everything. So they're the best ever team in the Premier League, right? And we're so close. Liverpool won 1 Premier League trophy in 8 years. And people are talking about Klopp is a top 5 Premier League man.
I know people that say Klopp better than Pep. People will come and say Klopp better than Pep.
Based off what? So you just having this argument
when people listen to defend that, when people say Klopp better than Pep, I think it's more so like the coaching style. Like if you ask a lot of fans, which football do they prefer to watch? They will say Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool.
Who played the most entertaining football in the Premier League last season?
No,
it didn't win
bro,
a
remember
trophy.
Liverpool did have a drop off, Bro, make a reason with sense, Remember Liverpool did have a drop off, Nobody expected Liverpool to even be as far last season to be challenging for the Prem, right? Because they had a woeful season.
They battled it. They were at the top of the Premier League for the longest time, Kishan. 58 of the Premier League last season. Liverpool was at the top. So then battle it again. We were not.
The man say if Pep left tomorrow, Arteta is clear. I don't think you can look at the Premier like that.
As a Man U fan, you know what you would be biting at right now if you were in the position that we were in? 4 Premier Leagues back to back. They're the greatest Premier League team ever. And we're still in and around it. Where's Liverpool? Liverpool win 1 COVID Premier League title. One title without fans.
Let me just say this, right?
I think you never even bring them a title if you think about it like that.
Listen, I think Robbie from AFTV is, if not the biggest spokesperson fan-wise from the Arsenal perspective. And I remember last season or a couple of seasons ago, Robbie was the same guy who on national YouTube channel, Arsenal Fan TV, stated that Arsenal will have bigger fish to fry. So them not care about the cup competitions, them not care about the Europa League, right? Who did knock on out? Sporting?
And that season before, it was
Sporting. Robbie, bigger fish to fry. Remember when not Troops, what the one name from over Tottenham name? The Expression. And it's oozing, whatever the case is. Remember him trouble Robbie about the whole bigger fish to fry thing.
But I go to you and say this. Man City is the only team that can sit down Rodri, Foden, and all these men, De Bruyne, and all these men still start and walk 90% of the teams.
Not to cut you, Steph, but Dicanio, all of a sudden it was a joke. All of a sudden, when the girl from Tottenham did say, go chat to Crystal Palace and them, man, it was a joke when Spurs get slapped up. But all of a sudden, when it's bigger fish to fry, it's a joke. Come on, bro, like Arsenal, brother, only need for the better, bad man. At the end of the day, Manchester United.
What? Do better at what? If you win the Premier League season this year, what are you going to say?
Can't say nothing.
Exactly what you're going to
say. Nothing. There's literally nothing more.
Listen.
That's literally the only thing that you guys have holding on to. We're 2 points off. If Man City draw, Kishan, if Man City did draw the game, they win the Premier League last season.
Listen.
So we're literally this close, and you want to tell me that Arteta is bad? Which league title Emery win other than PSG? Is it even good to win a PSG? It is a simple.
Let me tell this comment. Him said, "Presser, your argument shouldn't support."
No, wait. Another thing about Emery. I don't want to come on here and slander Emery. But Emery has a history of bustling it. The biggest Champions League comeback in history. Come on, Emery had thought Barcelona come back and win that game 6-1 upon Emery had thought in the Camp Nou. He bottled top 4 with Arsenal. He nearly bottled top 4 last season. And when I got the nerve to come back here and tell me that Unai Emery, respectfully, Unai Emery is nowhere near Michail Arteta at the current moment. And I'm sorry to say that. He has a good style of football. He's a good manager. He's been around. He's experienced. And no doubt about it, he's got results off of Arteta. But come on. Let's talk about it. Arteta is the only man that can push the greatest Premier League side ever this far. And I'll leave it at that. Me not even go
Let me just take this comment. Team Aggressive said, Presser, your argument shouldn't support playing styles. It should support results because you're all about a trophy, not which team play more attractive football. You sound confused, bro. No, my argument was more so about Unai Emery winning trophies compared to Mikel Arteta. Now, I understand that Mikel Arteta is yet to win the Premier League, but I'm saying he's also failing in various cup competitions, whether it is the Europa League or the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. In terms of the Champions League last season, historically, Bayern Munich, as bad as Bayern would have been last season, it's Champions League, so they kind of have that edge over Arsenal, which they showed that type of experience and whatever the case is, and extra quality. So I
But
don't really.
Christian, let me ask you one
Hold
more
on,
question
hold on.
about
I don't really
Emery.
factor in last season in terms of like the Champions League run for Arsenal. I'm just saying Arsenal in cup competitions, they're failing. And one thing I must add as well, if you look at Manchester United, a lot of the times when we play in cup competitions and we beat the likes of Liverpool, etc., sometimes we even have our best team. Some of the times, sometimes we even have our best players in certain positions, brother. Either we'll bench them or they're they're on the medical table, but we still find a way to get through to the next round until we make it to the final and we have a shot at winning the trophy. And I'm saying I don't think Arsenal is doing that to the best of their ability. I don't think it comes down to squad size. I just think that Mikel Arteta is failing at this point in time. He has to deliver a trophy.
So wait, I'll ask
Professor,
you
your
this now.
argument
I'll
makes
ask you
no
this now,
sense.
Presser. If Arteta finish third in the league, let's just say he finished third in the league, and he bring home an FA Cup, is that success for Arsenal?
Yeah, you win a trophy.
I don't see that as success. I wouldn't possibly see that as success. I see success as, again, dominating the league, because that is what matters across a 38-game season. One of fluke a FA Cup last year. One should have lost to Coventry. One should have get beat by Coventry.
Exactly.
One should have get beat by Coventry.
Like,
Want to end up in a final where Man City turn up drunk and win the game. You said it yourself. Man City turn up drunk and want to win it. I have proof of you saying that yourself. So how at the same time you could come and say, oh, if he win the trophy, it's success. If Arteta was to finish sixth and win the FA Cup, across a body of work across the whole
Anyways, Dicanio, we'll have you on. Make it clear so we can wrap up the show and continue with it to the rest of the night. What have you say now?
I just forward for address this comment by El Padrino. Stop the foolishness. Good evening. What him said? Scroll back on the comment then. Pull it up. Yeah, good evening is the second best manager in the league. Arteta couldn't do what Emery's doing at Villa. Now, hold your horses, mate. Hold your horses. Though, when you feel like you remember where Arteta come from. Arteta pick up an 8th place team in a dog and turn them in a league challengers, What you talk about him couldn't do at, bro? Forget about the name of the club or the pedigree of the club. Look at the situation where Arteta take up this club in, brother. We were in a worse situation than where Emery come take up Villa in, brother. Especially for the standards of the football club. So what you mean Arteta couldn't do at Villa? If Arteta is not one thing, he has proven, this is one thing that Arteta has done so far that not even Pep Guardiola do. He has proven that he can take a team from the slums and turn them into league challengers. We have never seen Pep Guardiola do that ever. And we know that he is capable now of having a team challenge week in, season after season after season. He's done it for mostly 3 seasons, 2 seasons now in a row. And he's going for it again this season. Zine? So this guy has all the capabilities and experience so far and equipment and know-how to basically get any team to challenge us better. We are talking about, as long as you have the financial backing and whatever, you understand that. But at the end of the day, bro, do not come and tell me that the man can't go to Aston Villa and do what Emery do. When he did what he did for Arsenal in the shithouse position that Arsenal was in, do not forget that we were a stinking shit team back in those days. And the man dragged we into title challengers for 2 seasons back to back. Have you ever seen Pep Guardiola do that? Have you ever seen Unai Emery do that? But I don't shut up on the thinking mouth in the comment section in the youth.
You're not for go so far. I think you're being a bit emotional. But one thing I have to ask.
Big up on yourself, man.
Well, but before we end the show, one thing I have to ask, like, for example, like, say, like, people don't like when we use certain analogies, right? But you're a guy, right? And you look at a girl and you get the like, how am I going to say this now? Like, if you get all of the girls, them were quote unquote ugly, right? Does that make you a gallus?
No.
Dog, Presser, yo, just end the show, dog.
What I'm trying to say is,
No,
like,
Presser, thank people. Thank you for
no, what
coming.
I'm trying to say is like, someone like get,
What?
no, someone get a certain type of girl, right? But the girl them might easy. Does that make you a gallus compared to like the top notch girl them were pretty like? If you can't get them, like, are you actually a gallus?
But hold this analogy compared to either Arteta or
What
Emery.
does that mean?
No,
What are you
it
saying?
draws back to the Pep Guardiola thing. Like, what does Pep Guardiola have to prove? Like, what would it change if Pep
All
Guardiola
right,
gets a lesser
you see,
team?
all right, listen. Let me just look at the end here. Look. You compare Arteta to Pep Guardiola, and you bun off for talking about Emery long time ago. All you only hear you talking about Pep Guardiola and Arteta for the last 10 minutes. You've been start talking about Emery, so that proves to answer you one question. Emery and Arteta right now not in the same conversation. So allow it.
Let me just say this: in terms of the brilliance that Pep Guardiola has as a manager, and that he has accumulated over the years, I think if you put him in a situation like Arsenal, in terms of when Mikel Arteta inherited the club, the mere fact that Pep Guardiola has the brilliance right now, I think he could turn that team into a title challenging team. It's just like with Sir Alex Ferguson. The difference is Sir Alex Ferguson won respectable European trophies, etc., plus the league in Scotland before he came at Manchester United. So it wasn't a case where he dominated in the Prem and then people were like, oh, could he do it with a lesser team from like a different league or whatever the case is? He did it before. As for Pep Guardiola, he found himself in a situation where he was appointed as the manager for Barcelona. He had some brilliant players in Lionel Messi. He went to Bayern Munich, dominated the league. I remember when Pep Guardiola came to the English Premier League, pundits, etc., they said, oh, you can't play that type of football in the Prem because it's physical, it's rugged, it's, for the lack of a better word, like, we can make this up on spot, I guess, dogged. I don't think that's a word. Is it a word? But let's stick to rugged, right? Because that's actually a word. But it's rugged. It's English football. He can't play tiki-taka. He can't play possessive style of play to the extent that he was doing at Bayern Munich and Barcelona. But Pep Guardiola came to England and he dominated England to the point where people call it a farmers league. So in terms of him having that brilliance and showing that brilliance, you put him in the situation that Mikel Arteta was in when he inherited Arsenal. He can easily make Arsenal into a title challenging team. In terms of winning the trophy, that's a story for a different case. We can leave it here.
Yeah, but Presser, then you start talking about money. And when you look at the Pep Guardiola situation, Pep Guardiola sent his technical director 3 years in advance for the Man City job.
But let me say this about Pep Guardiola.
He sent his recruiters in advance while Pellegrini was there.
But let me just say this about Pep
So
Guardiola.
that is
Right?
just money. He has
Let me
spent
just say this
the
about Pep
most
Guardiola.
money
People
ever.
oftentimes say that Pep Guardiola like signed the best players in the world, etc. But I have to
Doesn't
tell you
he? Does
guys,
he not?
when he signed the likes of Bernardo Silva, Mendy, etc., these were players coming off the back of one good season in their entire career, right? Having that breakout season with Monaco. Doku, when he signed him, was unproven. Edison, when he signed him, was unproven. When the man signed Edison, everybody I say, oh, where the man get Edison from? When the man signed Rodri wasn't one of the best midfielders in the world. His name was afloat, but he wasn't the Rodri of no, right? Ruben Diaz. Did you guys know where he picked up Ruben Diaz from? Yes, he was at Benfica, but Ruben Diaz was not the Ruben Diaz that he is now. Kyle Walker, you could make the case that he was one of the best right backs in the world when he was at Tottenham Hotspur. He improved Raheem Sterling. Kevin De Bruyne, he didn't buy Kevin De Bruyne. Who else did he bring in that midfield? Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips need to take blame on film career. You seen by the youth from Girona. But how many pronounce again? Savino.
Savinho.
Savino. He brought in Erling Haaland, which Erling Haaland in
But
under in the manager.
you're talking about all of these players, right? I looked at all of them. Edison, 40 million. Diaz, 75
making the
million.
money, bro.
Kyle
What I'm
Walker, 45 million.
Stop making.
KDB, 75
He didn't
million.
buy KDB, but
He did.
no, he didn't. KDB was there before. But what I'm trying to say is, stop.
Okay,
Look
so
at
he had one of the best players in the world and David Silva at the same time.
Anyways, Pep
Look at
improved the
those
players,
things.
and Pep he has purchased players that were improving that him turn out into world beaters. That's all I'm going to say. And we can end it here. I think the live stream 1 hour 30 minutes. I think we need to keep it less, but for this one, I think it was a good start for the review of match week 1. As we go along, we'll improve in terms of how we structure the show, etc., etc. Have many more things that we wanted in terms of improving the show, the dialogue, etc. But to be honest, Steph, I think this is one of the best dialogues I've had in a long time. Maybe because it's not surrounding Jamaican football and the toxicity that comes with it. No disrespect to Jamaican football, but whenever I'm the kind of on the channel, like you see, we always go at it. But people, big up on yourself. Today's Monday, the start of the week. Well, the day kind of end already still. It's what time now? 9:30? Well, 9:19. Sorry, my laptop is telling me a lie. But people, big up on yourself. I'm going to work on getting an intro for this show and an outro. You'll also see Steph featuring on this channel more. Before we head out again, Steph, shout out your channel. You reach 1,000 subscribers and it or close by?
Close to 1,000 subscribers. Help me reach 1,000 subscribers today. If you like any Arsenal content, I do fan interviews, player analysis, player breakdowns, any Arsenal updates you'd like to see. I know this is a Jamaican football channel, but I cover the United States men's national team. If you want to check out any of that stuff and interested in any of that stuff, check out all of the channel. Help me reach 1,000 subscribers. And thank you.
And last question before you leave, right? Last question before you leave. Is Mauricio Pochettino a better manager than Steve McLaren?
Yes.
All right. All right, you have it, people. The American fan is saying that Mauricio Pochettino is a better manager than Steve McLaren. Do I agree? Find out next time on Title.